Welcome to Breast Cancer Boot Camp, and I'm taking you ladies back to school, cycle school. Yesterday I had a great comment on Instagram and it really showed me how confused you guys are with estrogen. And I'm going to read it to you and then we're going to address it. It says, so I'm trying to run this theory through my brain. If estrogen is the cancer causer, then why doesn't every 20-something female have cancer when their estrogen is the very highest in their life? Great question, because everything about this is incorrect and we need to address it with physiology. When you understand how your body works, then you can prevent disease and you can treat disorders. Your uterus is not trying to kill you. I promise. I know it feels like it sometimes, but it's not. Don't be afraid of your estrogen. All I hear about is how your estrogen is trying to kill you. You've been so brainwashed that you're estrogen deficient, that you need more estrogen, that we need to block plant estrogens. It's all BS. It's all a lie to sell you more gimmicks. We have never been estrogen deficient. Our body makes the exact same amount of estrogen as it does progesterone every month. Our body is amazing. Now I want to address what she was talking about, estrogen being its highest in its 20s. That's a really good question. As we discussed, every month we have one egg or one follicle. Every month we produce the same amount of estrogen as we do progesterone. The should start around 14 to 16 and it ends in menopause. So between the ages of 14 to 35, there should be no change. It's not at its highest levels at the 20s, it's just continuous. Same egg, same amount of estrogen. However, when we turn 35, our body starts to deteriorate. So our eggs will start to deteriorate. That's why birth defects go up after the age of 35 and then they increase even more after the age of 40. It's not the amount of estrogen, it's actually the genetic material of the egg. Now, as we progress in our 40s towards menopause, again, we will still produce an egg. That egg, again, is still making the same amount of estrogen as it is progesterone, but it may be irregular. We may not be getting that every month. It may not be the highest genetic quality of materials. So that's where it gets a little different. It's not that we're producing the highest levels of estrogen in our 20s. It just changes as we age. PMS and symptoms of menopause are relatively very new disorders. In the olden days, women didn't have symptoms of menopause. They didn't suffer from PMS. Those women were actually considered sick because those were disorders. They weren't normal. Our body used to take care of itself before we started implementing these new estrogen therapies. And this started in the 1940s when they told us we were estrogen deficient and we needed a synthetic or pharmaceutical grade estrogen. And guess what? Thousands of women died. And now they're trying to tell us to use a plant estrogen, but it's going to have the same effect. That's what all this breast thermography research is proving. It evaluates the health of your breast, and it's proving that these environmental estrogens, not our estrogens, are increasing our risk of estrogen dominance, PMS, symptoms of menopause, and breast cancer. Breast cancer is a really unique cancer because 80% of breast cancers are fed by estrogen. What that means is it doesn't cause the cancer, it just feeds the cancer like a nutrient, like sugar, and causes it to grow rapidly. If you want to dramatically prevent your risk of breast cancer, stop feeding it by using estrogens. And these are the estrogen therapies that I get into in the Estrogen Free Diet website and books proven with 40 years of breast thermography research.